Dr. Sohee Jun. She's a top leadership expert, executive coach, and author of Mommytracked, How to Take Authentic Risks and Find Success on Your Terms. She helps her executive and emerging leader clients accelerate their career growth based on her 20 years of experience, where she has worked for Fortune 500 companies and global brands like Bank of America, Washington Mutual, and Warner Brothers. Dr. Sohee Jun earned her Ph.D. by her mid-20s and is a former NASA HR specialist.
It really was back in the day. Like, I've been in this field for 20 years now, and it's one of my first real jobs, and I call it real in quotes, but I opened up the paper, because back in those times you look for jobs in the Sunday paper.
So typically if an organization calls me, they are already aware of who their high potentials are and the leaders that are next in the pipeline. So they've been identified, which is great.
What are you curious about learning today? These are really great topics to cover, and I will, as I go through kind of my journey, share tidbits with you as it relates to your questions and what you're curious about. A little bit about my trajectory, where I've been, and I'll end with, on this slide, what I call the secret sauce, because it gets to kind of what I think amounts to my success in my career and my trajectory thus far.
Gosh, that was a big year. So I would say that was around 2012. But again, mind you, like, I had been trying things. As I'm coaching these women, I'm taking my own risk too, and I talk a lot about this with women that I coach.
It was very strategic and intentional in choosing different fields like NASA. That was a jumping off point that propelled my career into other areas, but I was very intentional in choosing really different experiences and companies so that I could experience everything and get as much as I could in my toolkit. The skills of leaders at all levels right now to be engaged and understanding what that means in a virtual environment, which is really difficult. It's a different beast from managing live and face-to-face.
So my book is really about how do I help women own, again, what is their definition of success? What does that look like? Inclusive of their family and their career, and how do we help them take steps to get there? When I was feeling super burnt out, when I was like going on all cylinders, and I think literally I write this in the book, which is I fell asleep sitting up. Like, I don't know how this happens, but like, I was so exhausted. I was coaching my daughter's soccer team. I was working 50, 60 hours a week. I had the large team I was managing, and I was doing the grocery shopping, and I was taking so much on because I thought I had to do it all, and I didn't know what integration meant at that time. And I literally was just like this, with my kids draped all over me, and my husband happened to take a picture. There was a book, and I read, I'm sure you do too, I read so many books, and there's so many that I love, but this one really stuck out to me, because I remember I was having a conversation like this with a colleague of mine, a woman that I really admire. I grabbed it, I bought it off Amazon, and as soon as I read it, I was like, this book. It's magic, because it just talks about all of the ways in which we play small and how we downplay our ambitions, whatever that looks like. Yeah. Your definition of success could be completely different, and that's okay. And in order to tune into your definition of success, you have to quiet down, pause for a second, and really listen to what your voice is saying to you. Is it climbing the corporate ladder? Is it being on your own? Is it being somewhere in between? Whatever that looks like, it's allowing that to come up and letting that percolate and seeing where that takes you.